Hey everyone, happy Wednesday, happy midweek. I hope you're all well. Welcome to today's live. I'm the Urban Seer, your guide to love, destiny and manifesting the life you desire. I hope you're all doing good, and I hope this session brings you some peace, brings you some clarity and answers to the questions that you are bringing today for Spirit. Take a breath, center yourself and let's tune in. Today is slightly different. We're doing an oracle reading, so I brought two oracle decks today. Some of you may be familiar with them, but we've got the Hidden Truth Oracle, which is a love oracle deck. So for those of you who are bringing love questions, would like to know how your person is thinking, is feeling, I'll use this deck. And then for anyone else with different questions about spirituality, about work, career, anything else, then this Urban Crow Oracle deck is what I'll be using. If you do have a preference though, and you'd prefer to have the Urban Crow, just let me know which one you'd like me to read for, but that's generally how I'll be applying them today. But still, even though it's a slightly different reading, do provide as much context and detail when asking your questions, so that me as an energy reader, I can still tap into your energy, to your situation, and channel spirit for you, and provide you a meaningful reading. So I hope everyone is doing well. Hey to everyone in the chat. I'm just going to go and grab the list, and I'm also going to close the list because it's already full. But how is everyone this Wednesday? How has everyone's week been so far? And anyone who isn't able to make the list today, or if you're watching this on replay, I'll go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday, so just catch us on one of those days. You can pre-book. All the lives are announced the day prior to the live, so you can pre-book because the lists are filling up quickly. Hi Anshuman. And on Friday that'll be just the usual tarot reading, but we like to mix it up and keep it fresh, so that's why we're doing something a little bit different with these oracle readings today. So I hope you do enjoy them. So first up we have Tia B, my love. If you were here, I hope you're well. I'll just unpack these decks whilst we're waiting for Tia to post her question. Hey Sruthi. Hey Kiki. So Kiki, if you want to post your question as well, I'm not sure if Tia B is here. Tia B, go ahead and post. Obviously, if you are here, if you hear me, it might just be a delay in the chat. But just to keep things moving, in case you're not, Kiki, if you want to go ahead and post as well, because you are next on the list, my love. Sure thing, the Hidden Truth Oracle, and if you want to go ahead and post your question, Kiki. And then after Kiki, Shruti, if you want to be ready with yours. There's a bit of a delay in this chat. I think it's not. Okay, so just remind me about the situation with V, Kiki. Like I say, everyone, please, even though it's an oracle reading, provide context, provide detail with your questions. It allows me to connect with your energy and understand the messages that Spirit are bringing through for you, yeah? So for anyone new here, or a reminder to those that have been here before, to the Seer Circle, I'm an energy reader and I connect with your energy, with your situation, with the people in your situation by providing context, detail. It allows me to connect with your energy, interpret messages from Spirit that I'm channeling through the cards and provide a meaningful reading. It's very much an energy exchange with all tarot readings. You know, here, what you put in, you get out. Okay, and are we in a relationship? Are we in a situationship, Kiki? I think we talked about this last time, that you are set up for another marriage, is that right? But V is your person. So again, what does the person that you're asking about, you know, is this a friend? Is this romantic? Is this a situationship? Are we married? Are we boyfriend, girlfriend? You know, this is the kind of stuff that I'm asking to share. That's it, yeah, I remember. Okay, let's get into it. So how does the V feel about you? Often with the Hidden Truth Oracle, it says what people would like to say is on their heart, on their mind, but maybe haven't found the courage, can't find the words, it's not the right time. So just like the Oracle deck suggests, it allows us to see what is hidden. I am so attracted to you, starting off strong. So they feel that attraction to Kiki. Yeah, confirmation there. Trust that intuition. How nice. I look for you everywhere. So I don't know if this is that maybe you are in the same, I know that you said they're in your community. So maybe if there's community events, or if they're out and about, you know, that they are obviously hoping to see you, looking for you. And I want to tell you how I feel. So they have some feelings that still they're not able to, maybe because of the tricky situation that you're in, Kiki. Here we go, afraid to make a move. So they want to tell you, I want to tell you how I feel. But they can't find the courage, they can't find the time. So all very confirming, I would say, to mirroring what you're feeling. The attraction, the longing for you, and they want to tell you how they feel. I hope that one day that they're able to, you know, find the words, Kiki. So I hope that resonated. Shruti, my love, you are next if you want to go ahead and post your question. Yeah, nice messages there for you, Kiki. I hope that made you feel good. So after Shruti, we have Danny Carmona. If you want to be ready, Danny C. Thank you, Shruti. So Shruti asks, what spiritual guidance can I receive about the contrast between what I'm manifesting in a partner and the current arranged marriage proposal that doesn't align with my desires for emotional connection and love before marriage? What is the deeper purpose or lesson in this situation? I can't be in a relationship with someone who I don't have an emotional connection with, and now an arranged marriage proposal came out of the blue. I felt like it could be a sign. Could be a sign. What does it feel like a sign for, Shruti? I'm going to use the Urban Crow. Thanks, Danny. Hey, Danny. Okay, so let's see what spiritual guidance there is with regards to this situation. Okay, so you've been, a proposal has come out of the blue. And do you feel like this, so it doesn't align with your desires? Let's see what Spirit has to comment on this arranged marriage, okay? This proposal. Okay, you don't know what the sign is, that's what you want to know. You were hoping that I would tell you. And is this something that can we refuse it, you know? Because like I don't know if this has come up in one of your readings before, you know, just because there's an opportunity or a proposal, an opportunity, doesn't mean that we have to say yes, unless of course we do have to say yes. I don't know the rules around this. This is very similar to the moon card, the night card. This is the unknown, you know, the night energy of, there's a heaviness, isn't there, to this card. It's like you said, really, it's not in alignment, certainly from what we can see now, okay? It's cold, it's dark, it's unknown, and it's bringing up these, maybe some fear, some insecurities. You can refuse it, okay. So guidance on how to move forward with this, please, Spirit. Holding space for what does align for you here, Shruti. sacred space, looking to see how this is really the kind of union that we would desire. This is a nest, which represents, you know, building a life to me, building a home, having a family with these eggs, protecting these eggs. So that can be talk about children. But it's also that eggs are sacred, yeah, and the protection of that. And two souls that are aligned here. So for me, like this situation that has been presented to you, it's not so much of as a sign or some kind of hidden meaning to that. It's really just that it's an opportunity, I guess, for you to, it's okay to explore this further if you feel like you need to, or maybe you already know that this isn't for you and you feel that strongly with this night energy, yeah? Something in your intuition, something in your gut, which is often about the night as well, stuff that is hidden, stuff that is, we can't almost quite put our finger on or verbalize, but you know that it's not right for you. And being able to trust that, within ourselves and say no to things. And it really, it's from an abundant place, which manifestation always asks us to come from, a place of abundance and trust that what we do want, so we don't have to say yes to the first thing that comes along, or from a place of fear that we're not going to get what we want. We must hold space and wait for this, yeah? I'm just catching up on here. Yes, I can refuse it. Yes, it made me think my manifestation may not work out. So that's doubt. And I feel like that it's not so much a test, but it's an opportunity to almost just go deeper into holding space for what you want. Yes, I feel strongly that it isn't meant for me. So I know it's a difficult situation, like you talk about. I know it can be very pressured in these, so it's no easy thing to do this. Final message, please, for Shruti. I'll be doing 3 cards for each person. Oh, how lovely. Look, what a beautiful card to end on there. I just think it's being very hopeful, these cards and messages from Spirit for you, Shruti, to say, this is what we want, this is what we're holding out for. Can you see how it's really kind of doubled down on this message? This looks very similar to, say, in the tarot deck, the Lovers card. It's that bond. And there's a heaviness and a darkness about, you know, the situation that makes you feel sad, that makes you feel low, that makes you feel disconnected, maybe all those feelings with what's being presented to you. And that's your intuition saying, this is not for me. And it's not that your manifestation isn't working. It's just asking you to really double down on your manifestation and continue to hold space for this, because it is so possible and it's waiting there for you, Shruti. Look at those 2 beautiful cards of union, of marriage, of, you know, your person. So stay strong, yeah? Very clear message from Spirit there, so I hope that resonated. So Tia, you were first on the list, my love, but you weren't here. I did call for you, but you weren't here. It's quite, if I've got time, if you want to hang around till the end here, I can't promise obviously, but I'll read for you at the end if I've got time. But you were first on the list and I did call, so I'm sorry, but you weren't here, so obviously I have to keep things moving. So Danny, my love, you are next if you want to go ahead and post. After Danny, we have Sasha. I'll post the list again, updated. Thanks, Danny. Shruti says, thank you for always bringing so much clarity in my life. You're welcome, Shruti. No problem, Tia. Thanks, Danny. Okay, so Danny asks, Hidden Truth Oracle regarding my Pisces. Lance, please. Yeah. We've still been getting along well. Technically not committed, but we basically act like we're in a relationship. Yeah. For example, on his trip to Germany, he brought me crystals, are beautiful, and a perfume cologne. How does Lance feel about eventually being in an official relationship? Awesome, let's check that out. Ooh, they sound like lovely gifts. Something that I would like, I appreciate that. Crystals and perfume. So let's see what Lance's thoughts, feelings are about eventually being in an official relationship. Oh, interesting. Let me know if this resonates. I know that I crossed the line with you. Maybe somewhere they messed up, Danny. Something in the past that still bothers them. Something that maybe they feel bad about. I don't know if they've let you down. Like I say, messed up, made a mistake. Let me know if that resonates of what comes up. I know that I crossed the line with you. Ooh, I know I was a distraction from your pain. If they're aware of some heartbreak for you that went on or other areas of your life. Some self-doubt coming up here. So because we're looking at the future, so this tells me it's not that they haven't got deep feelings for you, but when it comes to maybe these are the roadblocks that are coming through of why they're hesitant to commit or maybe speak their truth about wanting to, but they have these reservations of some self-doubt. I left when I saw you with someone. So maybe wondering if you are, maybe they're not sure that you would want this, or maybe they have doubts about how you would feel about a committed relationship, a long-term, an exclusive situation, Danny. So let me know if these messages resonate. I feel like that they need what comes through strongly from all these cards, if this is possible, or let me know if you have done this already and it's not landing for them, is that they need some reassurance. They need more reassurance from you to know that this is something that you want. Maybe there is some stuff that needs to be ironed out still from the past. They need reassurance that this crossing the line is done for you, if it is, and that you're not with them for a distraction, but that you really do want to be with them, and that you want to be exclusive. So you might have already shared this and it's not sinking in. There isn't much you can do about that other than see how things play out time-wise. Or it may be that, Danny, that you need to verbalize that this is something that you want and make that clear to them. Because I feel like they do want that, but they have doubts. Okay. So maybe that that's maybe you don't want commitment yet, and that's okay, yeah. And they understand that you're not ready for that. So I suppose that confirms their thoughts on the future, almost, that maybe they know about your doubts and that's influencing them and keeping them from holding back, and knowing that this is a work in progress, Danny, yeah? I hope that resonated. Keep us posted, yeah? Takes time to heal. Takes time when someone's broken trust. Doesn't mean there's no way back, but it does take time. Sasha, my love, Sasha Sullivan, you are next. Yeah, Danny says, I do have doubts at time. You're welcome. You haven't, Samreen. The list is just above if you want to know. Where it is Sasha's turn right now. So Sasha, and then we have Anne Franklin, my love, if you want to be ready. Oh wow, the cologne he brought me is carried 4711 from Cologne, Germany, where cologne originated. Well, that's very thoughtful and special, isn't it, Danny? I'll have to look that up now. 4711. That's meaningful to have those thoughtful gifts. It does mean something. So Anna, thank you, Anne. What does Spirit want me to know about the future of my connection with the person on my mind? And the request for the Urban Crow Oracle. Let's have a look. Ooh, lovely. Abundance. Gonna pull all the cards. Face them down first so we can read them as we go. So there's an abundant energy about this connection. This is you and your person, okay? So I feel like that you've got a lot to offer each other. There's a lot that could come from this connection. That's what it feels like. This is potential. This is giving fruitful. This is giving harvest, yeah? Because it's like, you know, for the crows here, all this fish is their harvest, yeah? Strong start. Ooh, illusion. So this is just a reminder as well, I suppose, to stay grounded in realism. I don't know if there is some delusion happening around this connection in the other person, if we are seeing them clearly, if we are seeing ourselves clearly in the situation because of this mirror. It's about, I feel like the message is strongly actually with this more, it's about seeing ourselves clearly in this situation. But let me know if this resonates, if this is maybe because I don't know how far it's progressed, Anne, or the situation that it is, that often when if it's a distant connection or It's something that we are manifesting, yeah, but we're not quite there yet. It's easy to project, and it's easy to fill in the gaps of because we're kind of daydreaming, yeah, when we're manifesting. So it's natural in a way to have some kind of projection onto this person. We may idealize them, put them on a pedestal, maybe think of them as being perfection even, maybe, and this could be something around remembering that they're human and there is light and dark to every person. So tell what resonates, leave what doesn't with that. That feels like part of it, yeah. Trickery. Something in the mix here, again, about needing to stay centered, needing to stay grounded. Trickery is the situation not being straightforward. Someone not being straightforward in this connection. There's the two of you here. I'm seeing what else comes through. I don't know if anyone's trying to interfere in this connection. You know, obviously I don't know much about how this, if we know this person, this is a person that we're manifesting, yes. And the trickery can be, maybe this is about their shadow side. It could be something, a quality in them. But there's something, not always when we see trickery, it's like something, it's not something that can't be overcome, but it means that the path cannot be straightforward. There may be something or someone blocking the road, and we have to work out how to get around it. And also to make sure that we are seeing this person clearly, okay? But ultimately, we do have this abundant energy between you. So I would say that this is hopeful and worth pursuing. But there are some... Spirit is kind of preempting you on this path of some roadblocks maybe along the way, things to be mindful of. Maybe not to kid ourselves or trick ourselves of how this will happen. There's something about being realistic that is needed here to ground your energy, ground your manifestation, ground how we get from A to B to get what we want. So I hope that resonates, Anne. Bear with me 1 second, my cat is just meowing to get in. So Sasha, I did call your name, but you weren't here, so I did have to move on. So Anne is after Anne Franklin. So if you want to go ahead and ask your question, we have Anne, and then we have Namira. So I'll just update the list now. And Mystical Tarot. The list is closed for today. I will be live again on Friday if you want to join us then. But just look in the general chat for all guidance and instruction. Thank you, Anne. So we know your crush We know the backstory, so let's have a look at their true feelings towards you. Hi Sasha, so I called for you but you weren't there, so I'll have to move on just in order of the list, keep it fair. If I have got time to read for you at the end, I will, but I can't guarantee that. It's just all how the readings go. So Anne, this is for you, your crush's true feelings. Interesting. You and I were too young. Something about this can, because if it's not specifically this message necessarily about age, it can be, but in some ways I always think it's like a timing issue. You and I were too young. There's something about it that was not, the timing was off. I wish I could share my good news with you. Some information that they would like to share with you, Anne. Oh, you speak to me through music, so this would suggest when they, you know, hear songs that they like or hear music that they enjoy that reminds them of you. So they do want to communicate with you, reach out to you. The timing hasn't been right up to this point. I hope that they're able to find the courage, Anne, to speak to you, to reach out to you, yeah? You're welcome, Anne. So, Namira, my love, you are next. Yeah, if you just go back, Sasha explained, so I gave you a call. You weren't here, so I have to move on. If you do want to wait till the end to see if I've got time, I can't guarantee that I'll be able to read for you, but if you want to hold on until the end, you can do. Home in a mirror. Hey Crystal, the list is closed today. Just check out the guidelines for the it's in the list is closed though, so I'll be live again on Friday. Just waiting for Namira to post her question. And then Samreen, if you want to be ready. No problem, Crystal. Join us on Friday if you can. The list will reopen tomorrow. Yeah, I can't see your question, Namira. You may have to post it. Oh, here we go. Sorry. I've got it. It's above. So Namira asks, hi Seer, how will my son face me in celebrations? My daughter, her baby shower now, he said farewell to me. Yeah, I have a feeling he will stay away. possible because he did the same in the past. Okay, sorry, Namira, I've got it. So Sasha, I've already explained this. You can wait till the end if you want, but please don't disrupt the chat by persistently asking to be read, okay, or I will have to mute you. So like I say, I called for you, you weren't there when I asked, so then I have to move on. So please don't persist to keep asking for a reading, okay? You can wait till the end. If I've got time, I'll read for you. But if not, there's nothing that I can do about that, okay? So please don't spam the chat. You know, remember that these are free readings, so please be respectful about the process, about the list, and, you know, it's not a demand, yeah? To bring demanding energy is never gonna provide a good reading, okay? So Namira, my love, this is for you. Let's have a look at the energy, see what the oracle answer to your question of how your son will face you in celebrations, so in situations where you're going to cross paths. You think he may stay away just to be avoidant, yeah? Okay, Namira, let's see what's going on. Distraction. So really in some ways, like you said, a kind of avoidant energy that comes through straight away here. That may be where they're at now, in that they will just try to distract themselves from what's going on, not be ready to really face you or face this for now, okay? This doesn't mean that this can't change. Isolate themselves, feeling sorry for themselves. Namira, I feel that quite strongly with this card. This crow is in this kind of snow and sleet and feeling sorry for themselves. Maybe this is something that they've done in the past quite a lot as well, you know, that they can't understand, you know, why their kind of bad behavior is obviously not being received well. But of late, obviously that message from you, taking that boundary, taking that stand, has hit home, has landed, but they are in this kind of reeling state, yeah, that they are feeling sorry for themselves. And like you said, that kind of knee-jerk reaction, yeah, they're either distracting themselves kind of on a deeper level, or maybe it's some moods that they're feeling they're sorry for themselves and isolating themselves. The walls have gone up for now. Victim behavior as always, exactly. You know this well. But then this is quite hopeful, okay, because then we end with this direction, which I think is finding their feet more, and maybe once they've had chance to regroup and that they have, I mean, victim behavior, yeah, it's like we can't expect miracles overnight, that people with this kind of outlook of how they move through the world, it is difficult to challenge these people, yeah, because it's about them needing to take responsibility for themselves. But nonetheless, we do have this direction card, which is them, I feel like, kind of pulling themselves together more, finding their feet and finding a bit more of a way through this that feels less closed off, that feels a bit less negative. So maybe no, they're never going to be the most open or loving or giving person, but we might work towards, I think the goal is trying to find some distant but common ground, if that makes sense, okay? Some way forward, some way to navigate this. Things couldn't carry on how they were in the past. Something had to give, something had to change. They are freaking out about it now. They are, I mean, I think it's a good thing that it's actually landed, your message, rather than them just pretending that it didn't happen or just ignoring it. The fact that it has kind of landed feels positive. And then this is them, like I say, finding some kind of better way to deal with it. Maybe being less rejecting, less angry, less defensive. It's difficult, Namira. I really empathise with your situation. But that was actually quite hopeful there. But also realistic about what's going on for them, yeah? So expect a bumpy road, I would say, initially, of what's to come. And like you say, that isolation card, it might manifest in the sense that they just don't come. But then things do progress and improve further down the line. I'm glad that resonates. Okay, thank you, Samreen. Samreen, do you want the love? Do you want the, we're doing oracle readings today, so do you want the hidden truth oracle, which is like messages from your, it's a love oracle, messages from your person, or you are realistic, Namira, yeah? Or would you like the Urban Crow oracle? Let me know, Samreen. Because you say, what's in the future for my love life with the pilot? What things I need to be careful about in this connection? So we can get some direct messages from your pilot if you want about what they think and feel, and then maybe that will inform you. Or we've got the oracle, the Crow oracle, which is kind of more general and less, more gives us an overview of the situation rather than direct messages from your person. If that makes sense. After Samreen, we have Eco 7, if you want to be ready, my love. Samreen, if you're here, let me know. Eco 7, if you're here, please go ahead and post as well, just so we can keep things moving. whatever suits you. Okay. I'm going to read some messages from them. Okay. Let's just get some direct messages. I'm starting to understand our connection. So some changes here, some better understanding. Oh, I'm not available. Currently unavailable, Samreen. That can be on an emotional level, on a commitment level, Samreen, yeah? That there's something that they are not open to right now. This can change, but this gives us insight into where they're at now. Ooh, but they do regret lying to you. So they've been untruthful on some way to you. Maybe you're aware of what that is already. That they haven't been truthful to you. There is some regret here. This one's interesting, that they're starting to understand the connection. Let me know how that resonates, yeah, that maybe they're getting to know you more, maybe what you need, what you want. Maybe they're even starting to feel more themselves, Samreen. But despite that, where they're at now as well, we do have this, that they're unavailable. But then they do, it's very kind of, it's quite split energy, yeah? That they're intrigued, they're interested, they kind of want to explore this. And they have some regrets about what they've done in the past. But there's something about them, for maybe you feel this. Let me know if this resonates, that right now, that they're not available. So this can change. All is not lost, but you know, we can't ignore that. Let me know if that resonates, Samreen. Eco 7. Moving on to Eco 7. Thank you for posting. It is conflicting, Samreen. And maybe that's that is the kind of vibe of the connection. I don't know if you have mixed messages from them as well. Mixed feelings. Do you want to wait to see if this can develop into something else? Maybe you want to allow to give this time to see how it unfolds, which is okay. You did lie about one thing and somehow managed to know the truth. So your intuition kept you right there. Bear with me one moment, I'll be back. I just have to, I'll be 2 seconds. Apologies, I'm back. I'm glad that resonates, Samreen. So let's move on. So Eco 7 is next. After Eco 7, yeah, we have Goddess. Okay. So this is for Eco 7. What advice do my guides want to tell me in regards to work? Let's see what Spirit has to say. Distance. We may need to create some distance, Eco 7, if it has become all-consuming. Maybe we need to zoom out to have some perspective. Sometimes when we get too close to things, when passion can sometimes become obsession, or hard work becomes when we are holding on too tight. Yeah. So we'll start off there that maybe it's time to zoom out and create some emotional distance, create some boundaries around time, maybe, of when we commit to work and when we can switch off. Because sometimes if it's your own business, it can be very difficult to be able to switch off, yeah, because there's no start of the day and end of the day officially. There's always something to be done, more to do. Exposed. So this feels about, we see this crow here who is kind of vulnerable to, this looks to be like a hawk to me, and hawks can be predators. I mean, this can be a warning about situations, people, places, things that maybe are a hindrance to us and won't help us in this. Or it can just be about our own fears. Feeling exposed is like feeling vulnerable as well. And it can be about overcoming fears. If we're scared of putting ourselves out there, facing our fears. So take what resonates with that, Eco 7. Can be warning about actually like external threats, and that being, like I say, with other people maybe, or it can be more internal and our own fears and threats and needing to overcome them more and take risks and be vulnerable. And then look here, more of this. There's a change in perspective that is needed here. So this is a bit like, that reminds me slightly of the Hanged Man card, where it can feel like that we are stuck, that things aren't moving as fast as we would like, things aren't progressing how we would wish. And there isn't really anything else that you can do practically. I always think this with this card, with the Hangman card, is that it's not, the change doesn't need to come in what we do, in doing, you know, working harder. That definitely doesn't feel like the right step. Or we don't need to make any drastic changes to the work that we're doing, what we're creating, the path that we're chosen, the practical steps. This is about what is needed is a change in perspective. So maybe that it could be about expectation, managing expectations, managing, like, say, the time frame, what you can achieve in 24 hours, in a day, with the rest of the commitments in your life. The ups and downs of a business, how long it might take, all these kind of things, where there's maybe this distance, this perspective, we've maybe lost our way on how we are viewing the situation. Maybe we've got into a negative mindset. Tell you what resonates with that, about where your perspective seems off. And then this sort of element of threat, about where that's coming from. Probably inside, about feeling exposed and either expecting too much from ourselves and almost making ourselves too vulnerable, or we are hiding behind certain things and we need to take more of a risk about being vulnerable. Only you will know that, and trust in your intuition when you see that card, how that threat resonates. Backed, bookmarked either side by this need for a perspective shift. So I hope that resonates. Know that I feel very clearly there isn't anything that you need to be doing differently practically. I feel like it's more about that you're giving yourself a very hard time, Eco 7, about as if maybe that you should be somewhere different than where you are now, but it's okay to be where you are now. I hope that resonated. Hey, the oak tree. I hope you're well. Welcome to the Seer Circle. The list is closed today, but I will be live again on Friday. So I go live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So do join us then if you can. I'll just do a list update now. So we have Goddess next, if you are here. We have Goddess, and then we have Miller. Please both go ahead and post so that we can keep things moving. You can both post your question now. Thank you, Goddess. Goddess asked for the Urban Crow deck. Thanks for letting me know. I've been single for a long time, but I'm not into online dating. Poor things. Yeah, sure thing. So what's coming or to expect in love towards me? Sure thing. So what's coming in next for love for Goddess? Thank you for your detailed question, Goddess. I appreciate that. What's next in love for Goddess, please, Spirit? Distraction. let's see how this ties in with the rest of the card. But there's something about, so I don't know if you practice manifestation, goddess, if that's something that you do. And that it's really good to, I would always encourage to create a kind of a daily practice if possible, through that being meditation, visualization, journaling. You may already do this, or if it can't be every day, if that feels too much, just do it when you can, but the more regular the better. Yes, to kind of set your intention and then release it. And distraction feels like, look for ways almost to distract yourself from looking at this too hard, so we're not holding on too tight. It's that kind of energy of, you know, if we're not, when we're not looking for it, that's when we can cross paths with someone. So focusing on distracting yourselves with projects, with work, with self-care, with almost everything, filling your life almost as much as possible with all the other things, will help you move quicker to manifesting this into your life. Illusion, maybe there's something here about how we see ourselves. If we're not seeing ourselves clearly, maybe in a, let me know if we have like a positive outlook about ourselves. This can be a card about needing to be more realistic as well, about what we're manifesting, who we're manifesting. Let's see what else comes through with that. Or it can be that we maybe need to do something, we're not seeing something clearly. Doesn't have to be something negative, like something harsh. It can be that maybe we don't see how amazing that we are, or how good that we are, and what we have to offer. Because look, we're looking in the mirror. Maybe we look in the mirror and we don't like what we see. Or it could be an idea of thinking that something is your fault when it's not. So take what resonates, leave what doesn't with that. But there's something about the situation that we're not seeing clearly. And you're doing self-talks, okay, so that's good. You're doing the work. So this is just a nudge, a reminder from spirit to say, I mean, even if we are looking in the mirror, some people like to find that effective, yeah, to look in the mirror and give ourselves positive self-talk. Fake it till you make it kind of energy, yeah. And then we have displacement as well. I'll have to pull one more card on that for clarity. I don't know if past relationships have, let me know if this is true, if someone from the past, or if sort of past situations have kind of skewed our ideas and our feelings around relationships. Because this doesn't feel like great energy here either. It feels kind of scattered. It feels kind of messy. It feels like we are displacing our emotions. But I'm talking about past relationships. So I understand that you're single now, but past relationships, how they've maybe influenced our where we're at now, you know, because obviously our past relationships do. So this can be, you know, we've all got them, but behaviours that maybe aren't great for us, that don't serve us, that displacement activities, you know, searching for fulfillment in the wrong places, the wrong people can be, you know, holding the line for what's good for us, building our confidence and our expectation. And if there are red flags in connections, you know, kind of nipping them in the bud and cutting them off. So not what I feel is like not wasting our energy is important here on the wrong people. Displacement can be about looking for love or validation in the wrong places. Trust issues, that makes sense, yeah. Final message, Spirit. Ghosts, again, like the past coming back to haunt us. I mean, if you feel like this, it could be exes coming back through, or it doesn't have to be as literal as that. It can just be our past hurt, past pain that is influencing our future, our present too much. So I feel like in order to manifest what, you know, the healthy, loving relationship that we want, there's still some work to do on our ghosts that are still the ghosts in the machine. So you're doing the self-talks, you're doing the work, if you're doing everything that you can with that. If there's someone worth talking to, you know, with therapy, some issues like that need working through about displacement habits. Seeing ourselves clearly, seeing us as our, you know, beautiful selves that we truly are and everything that we have to offer. It feels like we need to build all this up so we've got a strong foundation. So when we do meet someone, when we do cross paths and connect, that we're in a good place and that we are ready for it. Excuse me. So some quite intense messages there for you, Goddess. But important ones, deep messages for you. So I hope that resonated and in the right way for you. Yeah, came across lots of red flags, which there's nothing that we can do about, you know, if we're dating or if we're connecting with someone, and all we can do, we can't stop, you know, it's not our fault for attracting someone with red flags. But what we can do is when we see those red flags, we can listen, we can pay attention, and we can walk away, yeah, quickly in a way. The sooner the better. The reality of that is sometimes harder though than... Okay, moving on. Miller, I'll just give me a shout out that you're here. I have your question. And then after Miller and Shaman, if you're here, please go ahead and post, just so we can keep things moving. I'll just post the list. So Miller, this is for you. I'm going to do the Love Oracle because you asked. I want to send a message to Mikhail. We met online, I remember. Not yet in person and not talking lately. What will be his desires, feelings after receiving it? So let's have a look at his thoughts, feelings. Thanks, Miller, for posting again. I don't do timelines, Goddess. I think that's what you asked. Okay, so how will it be received, this message, Miller, from Mikkel? So this tells us something about where they're at. I bury myself in work to forget you. So they're distracting themselves. Whatever's going on for them is a tactic of theirs, a way of theirs is to distract themselves with work, Miller. So maybe there's some boundaries up here, some that you're already feeling that why they're closed off energy. They do wish that they could share their good news with you, though. I know I messed up everything. So was this connection, Miller, kind of on track, and then they mess things up? Because that's how they seem to feel. I feel like the feeling in some ways, because I know that you said what will be his desires, feelings after receiving it, this message to Mikkel, and I feel like that it really will remain the same. Like, this is how they feel now, and this is how they will feel after. I don't think it's like going to be able to move the situation forward. He was holding back due to past sorrow, so he's still very much in that energy of wanting to forget things and bury themselves in work. I feel like they do think of you and would like to share things with you, but something holds them back. And this feeling of really that they messed things up and not being able to get beyond that, not being able to get past that. So, you know, by all means, if you feel like you want to reach out and want to share that, what's on your heart, what's on your mind. But I don't think the reasons in a way of why they're holding back is because of something that you could do differently, Miller, if that makes sense, okay? It's kind of written in stone at the moment. It's something that's going on for them. Maybe they're still just stuck in this sorrow, Miller, and not being able to get moved past it. And it makes them, essentially, it makes them unavailable to, not just to you, but just to a relationship in general or for anything meaningful. It can change in the future, but I feel like this message, you know, sending this message, by all means do it for your needs or just wanting to get this out. But I don't think there's kind of in a way nothing that you could say. It's not about saying the right words or anything like that to change someone's heart and mind when they're stuck. I hope that resonates. So I don't do timelines, Goddess, just so you know. All the guidelines for the readings are in the chat. So if you just have a look at the Nightbot messages, it'll tell you how I read, guidelines, etc. So Anshuman, you have posted, thank you. And then we have Kristen Conlett, after Anshuman. So Anshuman asks, what does Spirit want me to know about the person whom I had a romantic feelings for who ghosted me or left me? I feel like they will soon pop up for reconciliation. Oh, you'd like the Urban Crow Oracle, sorry. So let's see what Spirit wants you to know about this person, Anshuman. fear. So this is their energy, Anshaman, okay? So some fear, some blocks. Maybe that's partly why they ghosted you, okay? Something, you know, people are sometimes with relationships, for whatever reason, do have fears about, you know, entering into a connection, pursuing an attraction. You know, for some people it's easy and exciting and something that they are wanting to pursue and open to it, but for some people it's scary. Yeah. Love connections just in general can bring up a lot of fears, can bring up a lot of insecurities. So that feels to be a factor. Again, we have this kind of dominance energy. I don't know if you came on strong. Maybe that's something to be mindful of in this connection, not to be dominant, not to come in too heavy, too strong. That can make people back off as well. Or even if you weren't like this, then this can be part of, again, being that fear factor, yeah, of getting close to someone and being scared of being controlled, or losing some freedom, or being pursued. So there's quite a lot of strong feelings here behind the scenes about that. They were very wary of this. Doesn't have to necessarily be you. It can just be about a connection in general, that they're not ready. This is not something that they're open to. There may be some issues around this, around connections, romantic connections. Self-interest. I was in alpha energy, okay. So maybe this was your energy here about not making it about you, about being very considerate of them, Anshaman. So to tread carefully with this person and needing to be, there's a real sort of sensitivity here. If we're gonna, like you said, you had a feeling, yeah, that this opportunity would circle back to you, Anshaman. So trust that and believe that. And then when it does come back around, maybe lead with a different energy, sensitivity, tread carefully with this person. They have to be made comfortable in order to be able to open up to this, okay? You may feel very confident and, like you say, alpha energy, and feel like this is the way to pursue someone. And I feel like this person doesn't, pursue is the wrong word, yeah? We need to be gentle and think of them rather than maybe it being in this self-interest energy about getting what you want and being too heavy-handed with it. So this is all good to know about where they're at, Anshaman, for when this does come back around, which is what you feel, what you're manifesting, what you expect, which is great. And then approach it differently, and then you may get better results, okay? No problem. It's me again. Thank you, Kristen. Hi, Seer. In the last reading, you read that there's a King of Hearts who is coming through. I want to know what I need to do to make this happen. Okay, let's see what the Oracle, I think the Urban Crow. So no, Goddess, there's no specific time in manifesting. I mean, you can use the moon energy, but I would just do it daily as a daily practice if you can. when you've got time, if you want to set yourself up, some people like to meditate in the morning, the evening, just really whenever suits you. There's no better or worse time to manifest. Like I say, daily practice if you can. Okay, Kristen, this is for you, my love. Hi, Seer. In the last reading, you read that there's a King of Hearts. Yes, so I'm just jogging my memory. I want to know what I need to do to make this happen. Okay. Kristen's King of Hearts. Hi, Tia. I see you. I'll read for you. Don't worry. Trickery, abundance, and dominance. I'm trying to piece this together. I mean, trickery is numerous messages here in the sense about being again watching out for red flags. So if there's people that come into your energy field, Kristen, who bring this trickery energy, as soon as we kind of catch it, as soon as we see it, we can cycle it back out, so we can flush that out as quick as possible, so we're not wasting time. Not to kind of kid ourselves or trick ourselves about trying to squeeze someone into, make them into the King of Hearts when we know that they're not. So that's, what can you do? That's one very kind of practical thing to do, that is to be kind of brutally honest in some ways about people who come into our energy field and people who we cross paths with. We give them a certain amount of time, a certain amount of rope, and then once we start, if we find ourselves making excuses for them or justification of their behaviors or whatever, something feels off, something doesn't feel right, then if we stand strong in our boundaries, it's okay to give someone time to be human. But as soon as we enter that territory of we maybe are kidding ourselves or we're being tricked, then we flush them out. Being in an abundant mindset is very, very important when we're manifesting, Kristen. Or so again, we're not in a state of lack, of thinking, of doubting if this person is coming, or thinking that we might miss this opportunity. What's for us will not go by us. And so this is working on mindset, brain training exercises about when we're manifesting that this person is coming, that we can get very specific about all the qualities that would be in who is your King of Cups, who is your King of Hearts, Kristen. Write this down, get really specific about it and try to be in that abundant energy of that it's on its way to you, that it's already happened, whatever works for you, to be in that mindset and not in scarcity, which actually, that can take a lot of intention and again daily practice to really be in that space. What it really does help with though is this first card of trickery, of not thinking, oh, we have to keep trying to make it work with someone because we're scared that no one else is coming. Yeah. And this dominance energy, it actually feels like it's about more, sometimes this can be like shadow energy, but for this it feels positive for you, Kristen, in the sense of about you taking control and you feeling in charge through maybe manifestation practice, that you're making this happening, that you're working on your mindset. And it's not just that you're sitting waiting for this to happen. We're like actively working on this and in control, and you're in control of the situation. And maybe when you attract this person as well, that you're in control. Maybe there's been like a lack of control in the past, you know, when things don't work out. There can be a lot of waiting to see what the other person does and not feeling that we're in control of the relationship in many ways. And this is about bringing that energy that you have the power to make this happen. And this person as well will make you feel, you'll feel stronger really, and not at the mercy of someone else's actions, is what I'm trying to get to. So I hope that resonated. It's me again, and then Tia, if you both want to go ahead and post. Thanks. It's me again. And Tia, if you're here, please do post now. Thanks, Tia. Again, anyway, Tia, this is, well, the eels just like, yeah, he's reserved another part of the convo for a later date, so he's holding that over your head. But anyway, I'm glad that you have reconciled. You're welcome, Kristen. So it's me. I'll read for it. It's me again, and then Tia. Thank you both for posting. Hidden truth messages about the connection with T. We are in no contact currently. Okay. Let's see their real feelings, their real thoughts. And I think, Tia, I'll do the hidden truth oracle for you as well, for your Pisces. But it's me again. This is for you. Let's tap into T's energy. How do they think and feel about you, about this connection? We have a connection that has not really taken off the ground so far due to different circumstances. Okay, so nothing really negative here, just circumstantial. Ooh, I remember every detail of that day. So maybe a really special date or special day that you had that they go over. So this is kind of ruminating on you. It's me again, ruminating on the connection. They still think of that. Unless you've had a kind of, yeah, drastically bad day that they can't forget. Tell you what resonates with that. I remember every detail of that day. Let me know if that strikes out to you, that you think you kind of know when that day was. That would be interesting. I wonder if you are happy without me. So they still have feelings for you. They still wonder how you're getting on without them. And I wish I could share my good news with you. So there is some longing here. I don't know what the block is about. Maybe they just don't feel confident enough to reach out to you, to make that first step, to make contact. But they think of you clearly. They wonder what's going on with you. Oh, okay. Maybe the day I pull back, that's what I'm getting. Okay. So that maybe caused some hurt, caused some pain, and something that they have got stuck on, yeah. So, I mean, it's up to you. I feel like you could pursue this. There is something still there, revisiting, if you want to go there again. It's me again. I would imagine it would be received well, okay? I'm glad that resonated. It's me again. I always feel like that you're very open to receiving. It's me again, which is do you want to do the oracle cards? So it's just these two decks, Tia. So today, with it being an oracle read, would you rather have the crow or the love oracle? But I'm not doing tarot today. Tell me which one, Tia. It's me again. Yes, there is a conversation that needs to happen. I'm open to that. Yeah. Maybe worth seeing if that's something to reopen, and there is something still there anyway. There's still some potential for sure. Whichever one. Okay. Let's do the Hidden Truth Oracle. So let's see what comes. Let's see where the Pisces are at now, okay? So this will indicate what comes next. Oh, you were the best thing in my life. Are the best thing in my life. Present tense, more appropriate here. But some doubts, okay? So we take these, this is current feelings, okay? And this has come up time and time again, that I feel like that they, you know, which is fueling this kind of, we need to have these intense conversations all the time, is that I really feel like that they don't trust you yet. Not that you've really indicated that I'm aware of anything that you're not, you know, into this and want this, but it's their insecurities that have come up a lot, that they're scared that you're not, you know, into this and committed to this. It's time for me to heal now. So they are working on themselves to heal this. So I suppose that is hopeful, Tia. And they see you as the best thing in their life. But at the center, this doesn't feel like it's true, if that makes sense. Okay, we both know I'm not the one for you. I feel like this is their insecurity talking. And this is where they go to when they have these doubts. And I don't know where that stems from, okay? If there's something in their past where they've been cheated on, where they've been left, and it feels like it's something that runs deep in them, that is coming out with you time and time again, where it's like they can't quite let go of this and just enjoy it. because they're so worried about if they do that, if they stop hanging this over your head, that they'll flip and they'll lose you, and you'll leave them, you'll be disloyal to them. So it's a work in progress with that, Tia, about, you know, their insecurities. It seems to be, it's an ongoing issue on what this is all about, okay? About this hot and cold. I feel like they can't just give into it and enjoy it. Does that make sense? Does that resonate? They know they've got healing to do. They know that you're the best thing to have happened to them. But then they've got this crippling self-doubt. It feels like they've been, you know, have they had a deep betrayal in the past? Someone's cheated on them, they've never been able to get beyond that, and they're just waiting for the other shoe to drop. Okay, I'm going to leave that there, but I hope that resonated. Okay, guys, so I'm going to end the live there. Thank you for everyone that brought your questions. Seems like you overthinks, exactly. Thank you for joining today's live. I hope the messages you received brought you clarity, brought you peace. Remember to take what resonates, leave what doesn't, and always trust your own inner guidance. I'll be back for our next live on Friday for the traditional tarot session, so I hope you can join us then. The list will open tomorrow if you want to pre-book. Time will be confirmed tomorrow as well, but sending you love and light. Take care, and I'll see you soon.